Morning guys, I'm the Tech Prepper. Let me take a sip real quick. So I hope everybody's doing well, and I want to thank everybody on Buy Me a Coffee. This video is dedicated to you. It's going to be a bit longer, but it's Saturday morning, so hopefully you have the time. We're going to talk about a new feature I've added to the EmComm Tools project, and we're going to be testing something I've never used before, and that is the APRSLink gateway on for APRS. And essentially it's going to allow us to bridge the APRS network with the WinLink network. I don't have very good luck with WinLink on packet, but I do have great luck on 80 and 40 meters depending on the time of the day, but that requires quite a bit of wire. So my goal here is to be able to, if needed, send an email, check email using APRS as a bridge. That way I can get by with smaller antennas. I just have a small 2-meter antenna mounted on the RV right now with the truck mount, and yeah, it'd be interesting to see if all that works. The new feature that I've added is the ability to actually receive messages. The last time we did a video, I was only able to send one-way messages, but I couldn't see what was coming back in the app. The integration isn't perfect, but it'll be interesting because the way APRSLink works, it requires a couple of back and forth APRS messages, one to log in, one to accept the challenge, and we're going to go through that flow together. I am by means not an expert. I actually had to print out a 3-page document on how this works, so bear with me. This may take a couple of attempts, and we're going to do it on low power too. We're only going to do it on 6 watts, and we'll see how we do, so stick around. Again, sorry if this is a bit longer than my normal 60-second updates, but I thought I might as well film the journey doing something for the first time together. All right, a little bit of coffee, I'll kick on the radio, and we'll jump into the app and try out APRSLink. All right, guys, so I've got my phone, and I'm connected to the Wi-Fi network on the Pi, and then I have the web browser open, and we're connected to the EmComm Tools app, and we're already in APRS mode. Now, the goal here is to first log into the APRSLink gateway. So the first thing we're going to do is enter in the SSID for that station, and I took some notes. So it's WLNK-1, and apparently you can send it whatever message you want the first time. So let's see how this works. And I'll just use the default that I have here as the placeholder text, and we'll send that message. All right, so it just sent the message. And this is actually the feature that we're about to see here in a second. I have a get button here, and all this does is get all the messages that are running on YAAC. And this is a new endpoint that I've written in the YAAC EmComm Tools plugin. It's not ideal, so you can actually see there it brings in everything. And it looks like it's working. You can actually see there where it says WLNK1 KT run. So that's the from station to me. And it's giving me login 674. Those numbers refer to what they call a challenge, and they line up to the ordinal position of the characters in your WinLink password. So I think what you do is you send, I think it's 6 characters, but I could be wrong, and you have to mix in anywhere in those 6 characters, those 3 characters by position. I'll put a little note card on the screen so you can see it. So let's go ahead and give this a whirl here. All right, so we're going to go ahead now and let's send back this message. And hopefully I haven't mangled anything. So let me double check again. It was 674. All right, so 3 of the characters from my passport are actually embedded here in a random order. And I'm sure you could brute force this over time since this is all going over air in the clear. But let's go ahead and send it. And actually, you guys, I'm not going to blur out the screen. This is my first attempt, so you won't be able to crack my password with this amount of details here. Let me clear the screen one more time. Maybe I haven't received an acknowledgement. Okay, so they acknowledged that they received my message. I'm wondering now if I can issue a command. And it looks like all I need to do is put in L and I don't even know if I've logged in yet. So this process is very complicated. The other reason I'm doing it is I want to show you this complicated process, because once I understand the flow and how it works, I can actually automate this end to end, where all I need to do is put in the call sign, and then I can deal with all of the back and forth exchange behind the scenes. So I'm going to issue L here, and we'll see if I'm able to list the 5 most recent messages from WinLink. So we'll clear again. We'll fix the screen again, and let's see if we can get. Okay, so I got an invalid login challenge. That's probably expected. Let me go ahead and try this one more time. And it looks like I got an APRS on that. So let's go ahead and try listing the messages again. But this is an overly complex system. It's not ideal. I would actually prefer WinLink, but again, if I just have my radio here and I can't get into a local packet WinLink station, this would be interesting to see if it works. Alright guys, so a bit of bad news here. It looks like we have failed. I have read the instructions for encoding the response for my password several times. I've confirmed that my password is correct, that I'm sending the correct 3 characters at the prescribed positions, and mixing in an additional 3 characters. I've also waited to receive acknowledgements back from the message. Those were received. And then I tried to do a listing with the capital L command. And I've also tried to send a message with capital SMS, my email address, and then a short message. And I get responses for both of those that my login challenge, or I have an invalid login challenge. So I need to do a bit more research, but bottom line is the feature that I added to the EmComm tools is working. It allows me the ability to get the messages back. So we have now two-way communication, which is great. I'll have to figure out the APRSLink issue later. I've also confirmed here on 6 watts with the small antenna I have on the RV that I'm able to get into a digipeater, so that's also great news for EmComm. And based on this experience with the application, it's also shown me that I need to have the ability probably to add a new API endpoint in my YAAC plugin so that I can delete all of the station messages. And I've written some custom messaging endpoints to do that. But I haven't wired it to the application yet, so I'll probably put a delete button so I can purge the messages. There was a whole back and forth I did internally while I was doing the development of whether I wanted to have a push versus pull architecture, but given the power constraints of the Pi, given the fact I don't want to have a two-way binding between YAAC and EmComm tools and EmComm tools back, I've opted to allow the calling application, which is EmComm tools, to basically do the polling and just keep it cleaner that way. Again, I don't know how this video came out, guys, but I just wanted to share with you a real-world experience and something that I like to call dog fooding. Just this little experiment already has given me enough food for thought on how to approach the next iteration of the EmComm Tools app to simplify the experience. And certainly I'm going to go see what the heck happened with APRSLink. All right. Be strong, be safe, and be prepared. And I appreciate all of you guys, even if you don't buy me a coffee, but the ones that do, you're amazing, and thanks for supporting the channel. Oh! I used some of the Buy Me a Coffee proceeds to purchase this guy. This is the Yaesu VX6R. It's a tri-band HT, covers 2 meters, 222, and 440. I didn't get it for the tri-band capabilities. I bought it for the ultra rugged construction and the submersible claim. Today, after this video, I'm going to do a shallow dive in the pool. We're going to do some underwater footage, and we're going to see if this holds up. My plan is to switch it out with my FT60R that I run on my chest rig, mostly because I sweat profusely out here in the desert. A lot of salt builds up, a lot of moisture, and I'm constantly cleaning the top of my radio with an alcohol swab after my runs. So I'm hoping that all of the gaskets and seals that this radio has and the IPX7 rating will absolutely come in handy. All right, guys, I'm actually done. See you later. Have a sip, man. Bad luck.